Hello everybody. Well, here it is, my first Tamiya kit since the mid 1990s, I guess. Been a long time since I've built a Tamiya kit. It's been a long time since I've been building kits, that's fair. But here we have from Tamiya the Fw190, Fw190A 3. This is a 1/48 scale kit of the little German fighter, and so there you have the front of the box. Nice artwork. On this side we have images of the aircraft with showing you how to paint it, and something there in Japanese which I assume is about the aircraft. On this side, I think we've got the same thing on the other side actually. Tamiya model number 61037, and then same thing on the other side, and same thing against there. Or is it? I think that's different. Let's see. So this one says Commander of 3 task JG something. Is it the same? It's different bit. So it's different markings. So nothing on the back. Well, let's take a look inside the box. So some paperwork. This is the packing slip. So I bought it from Jadlam again, and so cost me £18. Double check. £17.92 post free, so not bad. So I bought. So this arrived at my doorstep about 2 days after I bought it online. So there you go. So lots of paperwork in here. So Tamiya Tech Tips. Tamiya Tech Tips. No relation to Linus Tech Tips. So this tells you basically some tools and ideas on how to put these things together. So precautions to take when cutting parts off the screws, what tools to use when removing excess plastic parts and so on, making holes, using different types of adhesive. So I think we're only going to need the Tamiya cement or so on. Extra things to actually go across the two. On the other side, something about more about tools and so on, test fitting. So so basically it's all tips on how to get the best out of model making, I guess. And here we have a picture of paper in black and white showing you the paint markings. So that, and you've got the instruction manual and the decals. So let's take a look. So inside the box there's something else, important information concerning this kit in 3, 6, 9, 12 languages. Okay then. Anyway, let's have a look at the instruction manual. Picture of the built aircraft there, and then down here you got in 8 languages, or is it 7? This is 8 languages. Anyway, this tells you a little bit of information about the aircraft and there. Now let's take a look at what's inside the paper. So it's one big sheet of paper. Let's fold it like a normal wood. So then starts off again with the cockpit, like most of these models do. Let's take a look, zoom in a bit. So the top half of the page shows you the paints you're going to need. So you've got a list of all the Tamiya colours. So other colours are available. It's just a case of matching the colour to a different manufacturers if you wish. Tools required, you're going to need glue, side cutter, modelling knife and tweezers. Happily I've got all those. Study instructions thoroughly before assembly, blah blah, etc. So stage 1, you're building the cockpit and assembling the pilot. Let's have a look. So this is like a basic kit, so there's no fancy PE parts and all that, so you're just going to have to deal with the plastic in the box, unless of course you want to upgrade it, just spend a bit more money. Pilot figure here. He looks a bit like he's slouching a bit, but that's really to do with the fact that the seating position in this aircraft was, unlike his contemporaries, the pilot is his legs are raised, so he's not like in a seating position. It's like he's sitting on the floor as opposed to sitting in a chair. So that's stage 1 cockpit. Lots of parts in here. You can see lots of bits in there. So it looks like there's some pretty good detailing in this kit. Go to the other side. So stage 2. So it looks like you put the body house together and then drop the cockpit in from the underside. It's interesting. Don't forget to paint the inside of the aircraft to make it look good. Put together the engine, little polycap, so it looks like the propeller does rotate. And then drop that on the front of the aircraft. Stage 3 is putting in the undercarriage parts on top of the wing, so inside the wing rather. Stage 4, putting the wings together, putting the guns on the wings and little external bits. I think I'll leave those till last. The problem with putting tiny things like this on the aircraft is they tend to break. Or something tells me that they're already moulded in, so you don't have a choice with that. Pity. Stage 5, putting the bodywork, putting the fuselage rather, onto the wings, putting the tail fins in. Stage 6, building the undercarriage. Also paintwork to go there. Stage 7, attaching the landing gear, front and rear tail dragger. There's a picture there to show you how the landing gear is oriented. Stage 8, putting the cowling over the engine, putting the gun access panel on top of the bodywork, the back of the cockpit. Stage 9 is assembling the canopy and the propeller. So you've got the propeller, got the spin at the front and the cooling fan behind the propeller as well. Some little detail work to be done there inside the canopy on this part that drops into the glass. Anyway, so we're on to stage 10, which is the final part of assembly, which is putting on the propeller, dropping the canopy on top of the aircraft, and there you go. Then it goes into painting and putting on the decals and so on. So these are the decals, decal marking. Then you've got a choice of the other version. So you've got a choice of 3 marking types. This one is, let me see, that tells you who the commander was, or does it? Now this one just has something written in Japanese, and then, which I unfortunately don't understand. You'll see there's a empty space where a decal should be. I wonder what could go there. I think you can guess. Same again with the other 2. So this version, it has a name, Commander Haupt Hans Hahn, and this one's Wilhelm Garth, this version here, and that's it. So the last image here is showing you the markings you put on the aircraft on the top and bottom. And there it is, little instruction there about applying decals, and for Japanese use only, so I guess you can ignore this bit. So that's the instructions, straightforward. Each and every part shows you what colour the part should be painted. So this little mark here basically means that you need to paint it, and tells you what colour it is. So you need to take the XF1 for example. I believe that's matte black. XF2 is matte white. So the XF is Tamiya matte acrylic paints, and X, such as over there, is gloss acrylic paint. So that's gloss black, XF1 is gloss black, X1 is gloss black, XF1 is matte black. So those are the only colours that I know by heart because they're the first. And then all the others are, like for example on the palette figure here, it tells you all the different colours into painting. So you need to look at what the all the letters, all the numbers mean, which is what it tells you here. So so AS, or what are the AS paints? I'm not familiar with those, to be honest. But the X are the acrylic paints, X and XS are the acrylic paints. The AS, I've never used the AS paints, so I don't know what they are. I think they are enamels. I could be wrong, because they do enamels and they do another type of paint as well, which I'm unfamiliar with, which I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, that's the instructions. We've got some decals here in a stapled bag. So I shall start in a stapled bag. Let's get into this. So there's two decal sheets in here. We've got this one here, all black and white markings, the various crosses and so on, and the mark that shall not be named, which goes in that empty space on the tail fin. And then you've got these are the markings that are common to, well, I think these are the markings that are common to most versions, or probably except for the little chicken rooster there. Anyway, so basically I think these are the markings common to everything, and the 21 and 22 I guess are for a particular version. Anyway, put them back in the bag. So let's take a look in here. So you have three bags. So you've got 3 bags of sprues, 2 plastic parts and 1 clear part. So we shall start with the clear. Again, staples all the way around. So that. And remember, this is normal for Tamiya. They staple all the boxes, all the packets. Get a bit close in on these. So, as well as the canopy here, we have a couple of little polycaps here. So as well as the canopy in this bag, we have the polycaps. 2 little polycaps here. So have a look at the clear parts. So you've got two slightly different shapes of canopy. So this one here is like a smoother, straight across the top and narrower. This one is more bulbous, bigger. Then you've got the front part of the canopy, and you've got some tiny part there, which I believe is something to do with the gun sights, maybe. The plastic is nice and clear, you can see through it without any real problem, and so the pilot will look fine inside there. Anyway, put those back in the bag. So that's clear parts sprue C. Let's go to sprue A. Take out the staples again. So my first look at a Tamiya sprue in a very long time, and as you would expect, these parts are near perfectly molded. The detailing is perfect. Well, it's very nice, very detailed. There's a riveting on here which is very fine and sharp. You can't see it. We can barely see it, but you can certainly feel it. You can probably hear it. Anyway, so you've got the wings on here, you've got the pilot, and lots of other small parts. So you've got the engine, which looks very nicely detailed. Actually, you can practically see the fins on those radial cylinders. Inside of the wheelbase, that'll be the cockpit, rear wheel. That's the cooling fan for the engine, which goes just behind the propeller there. And I can see there's two cooling fans, in fact. There's that one there and then this one here. So I'm assuming one's slightly bigger than the other, but I can't tell, to be honest, looking at them. Lots of extrusion pinholes visible inside there, so mostly on the blind side of parts on this one here, so basically you won't be able to see them from the other side. No extrusion pins on the important parts, on the visible parts, which is what's important. The seat looks, the detailing on the seat is also pretty good. A little cushion in there looks like a, well, like a cushion. There you go. Some very nice small parts here. These parts here look very high end. Not sure what they are. Spinner there, propeller there, 3-bladed propeller. So it looks like there's basically the one version, well, two versions, because yeah, I'll leave it at that. Right, so that's sprue A. That'll be sprue B. So it looks like sprue B is in 2 bits. Get right way around. So let's have a look at the wing first. Put that aside for a moment. So this is the lower side of the wing. So there's some flash on the trailing edge of this part here. Fairly easy to take care of, but surprising. And the surface texture is very fine. The markings are very clear and very fine as well. So there you go. And the other part of the sprue has the body and the forward cowling of the engine. So a bit that covers the engine and the main bodywork. So top of the gun cover, the gun cover rather, main wheels, very nicely detailed dashboard, control panel, and some more controls for the side of the side of the cockpit. On the other side, push pins very visible on this landing gear covers, but they won't be visible, so that's fine. And there you go. I suspect this is going to be a very nice kit to put together. It'll go together really well. And we have a date on here. It says 1994 Tamiya. So I'm assuming that's when the mouldings were made. It could be that this was made a lot later than that, but basically this is an older Tamiya. This kit was probably new when I was still making kits, in fact, so still building kits. But there you go. So it is an older kit, which explains the slight flash on these parts. There's a bit of flash on these parts here as well, but very thin. More of a mould line than flash. So the cowling is very nicely put together. And so lots of detailing where you'd expect to see it, and so on. So, yeah. So there you have it. A Fw190A. I think I'm beginning to discover that this particular aircraft, the Fw190A, is probably one of my favourite fighter planes from the last big war. So close behind, certainly this, the Spitfire, and the what's it called now, the Can't be that much of a favourite if I can't remember what it's called. It is this, the Spitfire, and the P-51. The P-51? Mustang, the American. Probably three of the finest aircraft that were fighter planes that were made in the 1940s. But there were other planes that were really good, but those are the ones that stood out for me as being some of the finest aircraft. There probably were other aircraft that were better than that, but I didn't really notice them, so they couldn't have been that. So they couldn't have been that good. But anyway, that's not the point. Yeah. So that's the Tamiya's 1/40th scale Focke-Wulf Fw190A 3 version.